And I want to go here, folks. I'm pretty excited. Look, the crypto market's off. And a lot of people think that's bad, but it's not. It's actually a beautiful thing. And I'm going to show you exactly why today. I don't know if you're following crypto prices, but it looks like Bitcoin is kind of testing the $108,000 level. And I'd like to show you why I think that is a good thing. Anybody want to see why I like this? Right? Why would Brian want my precious crypto to go down? Well, let me show you. First of all, we're going to jump over here to a page called CoinMarketCap, which shows the total market capitalization of all crypto. Raise your hand if you can see this. Alex, you can probably see this, right? Kate can see it, and a few others. Nice, Romana as well, and so can Ryan, I think. Well, what do we see here? Well, Bitcoin's at 108, okay, down from its all-time high of, I'm just going to highlight this thing here, of what, 125 it hit, like what, 10 days ago. Ethereum's down from almost 5,000 down to 4,300. You see that. But what's the number that I love about this whole chart? What I love is the number up here on top called altcoin index. Now let's drill into this number and find out what the hell this means. Can you see this right now, Ryan? Do you see this, Alex? This is what no one's talking about, okay? Now you can see from this graph here that we're currently at 58, all right? Can everybody see where my mouse is right now? It's kind of hovering over that 58 number. This is the highest it's been in 4 years, okay? If you can see, it wasn't long ago where it was down here at 15 and 16, okay? That was in June. That's like 2 months ago, all right? And now it's gone from 16 up to 58. You can see from this graph, when it crosses 75, we are in full-on altcoin season. When it stays below 25, it means we're in Bitcoin season, which, let's be honest, we've been there for the past 2 years, and it's been great if you own Bitcoin, but it sucked if you own anything else, all right? Now, what is this altcoin index? How is it measured? Well, look at the top 100 coins performance over the last 90 days. Do you see all the green here? Ryan, you can see the green. So Amura, can we see all the green? These are all the coins that have outperformed Bitcoin. Chronos, which is the crypto.com token. OKB. We've got Chainlink, obviously. We've got Story Protocol, one of the things we're invested in here called IP. We've got Solana. We've got HBAR. We've got Aave. Look, all the way down here to where BTC is. So there's 58 of these top 100 that have outperformed Bitcoin. And then you've got all the ones that have underperformed Bitcoin, okay? You've got things like Sandbox. You've got things like Jupiter, which is a DEX on Solana. You got Fartcoin not doing so well. Oh, well, I won't lose any sleep over that. You got Pump as well. And so look, as more of these things go into the green, that index is going to go higher and higher and higher. Up until about 3 or 4 months ago, Bitcoin was outperforming everything. And this is what we're looking at. When this hits 70, 75, the members of my investment club are going to start making millions and tens of millions of dollars because we've invested in what we call altcoins, right? These smaller cap coins that are going to make a ton of money when the market goes up. And so that's what we're watching right now. I don't care as much if Bitcoin goes down. What I want to see is the rest of the coins all getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Does this make sense to everybody here? Now, who here owns some Bitcoin or some Ethereum? Just hands up if you own some of those. Okay, pretty much everybody. Keep them up if you own something besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, so Ryan, Zoom. It's okay, Angela, you might have bought that cheeky meme coin, got that Trump coin when it first came out. Lord knows I hold a little bit. And so that's okay. Well, no judgment here. And so look, for everybody with their hand up, which is about half of us, those are the coins that are going to make you more money in the next 3 months. That's just the case. People are calling for a 150K Bitcoin, maybe 175K Bitcoin. What is that? That's a 30% increase. I mean, who wants to make 30% on your money in crypto? You might as well go back to the tech markets and invest in stocks. We're here to make 10x, 20x, and 30x returns. Who wants to make that kind of money? Anybody here? That's why I'm here, right? That's why I'm in crypto. I'm not here for the heart attacks and the craziness and the volatility, right? That's what I'm here. And that's what we're going to do. And that's all happening with alt season. And we actually believe it's not going to happen in September. We believe it's going to happen in mid to late October. And I'll explain why later. We do think that some of the money is going to bleed back into Bitcoin in the short run. And we actually have to hit some of these lows before we can go higher. Does that concept make sense to everybody in here? Just hands up. You can't have a one-way rally. It's just, it's almost like a law of nature. It's actually a stochastic distribution, which means every day there is some real randomness to it. And until you get rid of some of the weak hands and the paper hands and the people that don't really believe, it's hard to hit the newer high. So we hit 125K on Bitcoin. We almost hit 5,000 on Ethereum. To think it's going to go from 5,000 to 6,000 to 7,000 is naive. to think Bitcoin goes from 125K to 135K to 145K. It doesn't work that way. We're going to have to be a pullback. So I was just walking around today and I was yelling at my phone. A couple of ladies were looking at me funny. And I was like, go die, die, die. Let's touch 105 in Bitcoin. Let's go below 4,000 in Ethereum. Let's clear out all the suckers so we can bring the strong money in and take this to new highs. Is everybody with me on that theory there? Okay, good stuff. All right, good. Now, how many people here are in our current Crypto and DeFi Academy or in our next Crypto and DeFi Academy? Just hands up. Kate's in our current, Angela's in our next, Ryan's in our current as well, Kristen's in our current. Okay, awesome. Great stuff. All right, good. So you guys know, and our next class starts Monday, and I'll mention that a little bit. But today I want to talk about some of the big things happening behind the scenes. A lot of people are making a lot of money. Eric Trump was speaking today in Hong Kong at the Bitcoin conference, talking about Bitcoin to $1 million is a no-brainer. And from there, it's going higher. He was talking about how the Trump family is all in on crypto. And I just want to say we welcome them to the party. It took them a few extra years than it took us, but we're glad they're here. And look, they're a smart family. They're great entrepreneurs. And it's just a great endorsement of what we've been doing here for 4 years. When the Trump family goes all in on DeFi, which is what we did 4.5 years ago, and they've gone all in on the ecosystem. And folks, we're just getting warmed up. We really are. The next 6 months in crypto are going to be outstanding. It's going to make millionaires, decamillionaires, and centimillionaires, and obviously even some billionaires. So let's jump in. Last chance to turn cameras on. So Graham and Udi on. Martini's going to throw you out of the room. We like to see faces, and that's what we do here. If you have any questions, hit me up in the chat. I'm going to move fast. I'm going to play for you some videos you've never seen before. I'm going to show you how we're making a bunch of money behind the scenes. And we're doing it in a way you've probably never heard of before. And I'll literally show you the deals. I'll show you some of the deals we're investing in right now. And I'll show you a bunch of the possibilities. Does that sound good for everybody here? All right, let's rock and roll, and let's jump into this thing. Hot off the presses, Garrett Burns. Look at you coming in, looking good. It's always the good-looking ones like Garrett that have their cameras off. I never understand that, Martini. Okay, here we go. Folks, thumbs up if you can see two good-looking guys here that both love crypto. Yeah, we like this. Okay, here we go. And here's the news. It's either Rockefellers or Rothschilds, right? And I'm going to talk about what this really means later. But Bitcoin right now is teetering on this $84 trillion price earthquake. And I'll explain to you why that number comes to mind. But we're literally looking at the future dynasties of the world. Now, the Trump family is going all in. Eric Trump's in American Bitcoin. Donald Trump's on a bunch of boards that they're investing early stage. They've got World Liberty Financial. They got so many things like that. And so we're pretty excited just to see that kind of happen. And it's just going to move forward. And the question is, what family do you want to be in? And do you want your family to be involved in this? Before we get started, just want to say this presentation is for information purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you are looking for that, please go find a professional. And I also want to give everybody here a free gift before we start. This is module 1 of our super premium program called the Investment Club. And this 19-page PDF document is going to show you how startups raise money on the blockchain. We're pretty excited about it. If you're on the live stream and later you want to download it, you can go to londonville.tv/download. But to all of the beautiful people here that decided to come join us on Zoom, I'm actually going to send it to you right now via the powers of the Zoom chat. And so if everybody can check your chat room right now, I'm actually going to send you this module. Can everybody just see? Sometimes the tech is a little tricky on Zoom, but I'm sending you module 1 right now. If you get it, can you just reply back with the word yes, just YES, nothing more than that. And just let me know if you got it. Hold on, 3, 2, 1. Let me know if you got it and check it out. Just reply yes if you get it here. Did anybody get it here? Anybody? Hit me with a yes. Everybody should have it. It's a PDF document. Just check your messages. Anybody? No? Not coming through, Martini? Okay, Ryan's got it. Oh, Romana sent me a yes. Can all of you just send me the word yes? That would be a beautiful thing. Okay, good. All right, so you've got it, which is amazing. And let's jump back into this presentation. Again, please give that a read after we get done. I also want to give you a second present, and that is how to find the hottest crypto presale tokens in 3 easy steps. And this is a video, and I'm going to give you a link to this video at the end of the presentation. And it's going to talk about how we use these things called SAFs, and it's going to show you what a crypto token presale is. So I'll give you that at the end. Folks, Pre-selling is how we're making all the money behind the scenes. Nobody's teaching this, and no one's giving access to the deal flow like we are. And it's a practice of secretly buying tokens from a CEO before they are offered to anybody else on the blockchain. Has anyone here heard of an IPO before? Just raise your hand if you've heard one of those things before. Kate knows, Angela knows, Ryan knows, Adrian knows. Yeah, it's an initial public offering. And it's the very first time the public has access to a stock. Facebook did it about 8 years ago. Before that, you have to be a private investor to get access. And what happens typically, as you know, Adrian, is the price spikes a lot of times on an IPO. Well, the same thing happens with tokens. We are buying these for pennies on the dollar behind the scenes. And when they get listed on a Bybit, when they get listed on a Coinbase, when they get listed on a Kraken, a lot of times they go up 3x, 5x, 10x, 20x, and I'll show you some of the results. This is the way that we have found to systematically print money behind the scenes. But it's something not everybody can do. And I'm going to explain to you how we're able to get access to these deals and why London Real is probably one of the few people that can actually do this. Folks, a lot of you probably have heard of this token. It's called Solana. Raise your hand if you know this one. Yeah, it's one of the big cryptos out there. Maybe some of you own some as well. Well, did you know you could have bought this as a pre-sale token for 4 pennies each? Raise your hand if you knew that before, without have seen this before, right? Kate knew that, okay. Right? Imagine paying 4 pennies for something now you have to pay $200 for now today, right? Now, if you had bought that pre-sale token, if you had put $1,000 in, just 1,000, Ryan, that one investment would be worth $5 million today. That's real money, okay? Who here could use an extra $5 million right about now? Anybody? Right? Ramana's like, no, Brian, not for me. More money, more problems, right, Ramana? Keep things simple, right? But look, the truth is 5 million can buy some real freedom. And if you're already balling like Ramana clearly is, then you just park another Bugatti in the garage. All right. I know a guy in Dubai if you need one. All right. And so this money, it represents choices. Okay. One of my mentors came on my show about 10 years ago and he said, Brian, I have more money than you, which means I have more choices than you. Right. That's what he told me with a big smile on his face. I was like, okay. And so what we want to give you is more choices. Does that make sense to everybody here? That's what this is about. Okay, good. And that's exactly what we're doing behind the scenes. And by the way, this is a deal that we did just a few months ago. And what you see here is a screenshot of a legal document that we use to invest in the company. Now, can everyone see the blue circle here on the screen? Just raise your hand if you can actually see that number. Okay, yeah, it's $200,000. That's our typical investment in the companies we go in. Can everyone see the red circle here? That's the price we paid per token. Now that's 1.25 pennies, not $1.25. We bought these cheaper than the Solana token. All right, even cheaper. And what happened? Well, in about 4 hours, we made $4 million. Not a bad day, right? I don't even think I did that when I was a banker on Wall Street. That's pretty good P&L, right? And the company was called Skillful AI. It's artificial intelligence on the blockchain. And the token was up 20x at the launch, right? Simple. Now, this is the CEO of that company. His name is Zoltan. And when you get an investment from London Real, you get an interview on London Real. Now, some of you are starting to put the puzzle together, right, Adrian? That's how Brian gets the deals because the CEOs want the media. Correct. I'll go into that more later. And after the interview, he said, Brian, this thing's going to 100x. Hold on to your tokens. It'll be worth $20 million. I said, okay, I'll spread the word to all of our investors behind the scenes. And then he said something to me that really shocked me. He said, Brian, I want to join your investment club. I want access to these deals too. And I was taken aback. I was like, Zoltan, I see you on stage at the conferences. I see you with the big VCs. Surely you see deal flow better than me. He said, no, your media company gets you better deal flow than me. You get cheaper tokens than I can get, and you get the tokens faster than I'll ever get them. He said, sometimes I have to wait 3 years to get all my tokens. He said, I've seen your deals. You get them in 3 months. He said, that's unheard of. And I thought, wow, I didn't bring you here to pitch you on my investment club, even though I do pitch pretty much everybody I see. I didn't expect him to say that. And I said, look, there's only one way to join the club. You have to talk to Martini. And she doesn't do discounts, no matter how many pictures you have of you and me together. And he said, give me your number. And so 2 weeks later, he had joined. And so honestly, folks, I think it's one of the greatest testimonials if one of our portfolio companies actually decided to join this investment club. He's done about 13 deals, and you'll see him on a bunch of the Zoom calls if you ever drop by. Folks, this is another deal we did. It was called Shrapnel, and this is a game on the blockchain itself. So a lot of you know some games like Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto. And this is actually one of those, but it's on the blockchain. And this was up 20x in 20 days, made my group a $5 million profit. And this is the CEO, Mark Long, who flew in from Seattle just to have his interview. Folks, this is the Mochaverse. It's the digital ID system for the massive gaming conglomerate known as Animoca Brands. It's quite famous. This is the chairman of Animoca named Yatsu. He's become a good friend. He's been on the show about 7 times, and we've done about 8 investments with their company. Most of them have made us a boatload of money. This was up 20x on launch, and in the next year, I'm expecting at least another 20x on this. And that's real money, folks. If you would put $10,000 on this deal, that one trade would be worth $200,000, okay? Not enough to retire for some of you big ballers out there, Adrian, but it's enough to give you a breathing room, right? To maybe you can probably start making some changes in your life. And that's what we want to give you. This is Story Protocol. This one was up 22x, and it was the very first time we invested with a massive venture capital company called Andreessen Horowitz, right? These guys are famous. They're one of the biggest in the world. Mark Andreessen has been on Joe Rogan's show 2-3 times. They're big players in the space. And maybe it's not a big surprise that we did so well on this deal. When you invest alongside smart money, you make big money. And Martini, I think we got about 50 people that invested in this deal. And, they're going to make millions and millions and millions of dollars on this one trade. And we're really excited about that. Folks, this is one of the meme coins we invested in. It was up 14x on the launch. And one of our members named Christina, she put in $30,000 of this with her mom. And she woke up the next day to a $420,000 profit. She actually thought her phone was broken. She sent us a screenshot, said, Brian, there's something broken with my wallet. We're like, no, that's real. And that's real money, okay? And I'm not saying, again, $420,000 is enough to retire on, but it's not a bad Wednesday, right? Would anybody else like to wake up on a Wednesday morning and check your wallet to that, right? Few of you, right? It's a nice way to start that wealth journey. And of course, this is the $1 billion fund we invested in called 1RT. This is the guy that runs it, Dan Tapiero, and he is, as I've been saying for the last 3 years, the greatest trader I've ever met, and I've met them all. This guy has taken our very conservative fund that only invested in actually equities, the stocks, not the tokens themselves. We were expecting a 20-25% return, would have been amazing. He's already 4x'd this entire fund, and he's on pace for next year to be the highest return fund in the world, right? Crazy Martini, right? We at Martini's in on this deal. I'm in on this deal, as about 50 of our members are. And you can look at the companies in his portfolio. They're all IPOing right now on the New York Stock Exchange. Circle, the stable coin, already IPO'd. eToro, IPO'd. Gemini is coming up. Kraken is coming up. I mean, this guy is just picking winner after winner after winner. And we're about to go in on his new fund as well. And it just shows you we're just really having success after success after success. Folks, I want to show you some of the latest deals that we're in. And I'm going to play for you a video of the actual deals. And these are still open. So if you want to get into them, you can actually get in and reach out to Martini right away. The first one I want to show you is a deal called Crypto Nights. Now, Crypto Nights is like Shark Tank, the show, but it's for crypto. Has anyone seen that show, Shark Tank, right? With those sharks that go on the thing. It's got that Kevin guy who can't dress to save his life. It's got the other guy, Mark Cuban, that should stop tweeting one of these days. And it's kind of boring, and they invest their own money and they get rich, and we just get to watch. On our investment club and in Crypto Nights, the people that watch get to get more involved. And so this is Crypto Nights. It's a deal that we're filling up right now. I think we got about $25,000 left inside this deal. And it's something that we're really excited about. They're already on Amazon Prime with 30 million views. You can actually go watch this right now on Amazon Prime. And one of the things we like about it is it gets media eyeballs and money on the actual companies themselves. And that's a really hard thing to do because trying to magnify them is tricky. And this is a little bit more about Crypto Nights.
It looks like a very good project.
Production value is really high.
We've never seen anything like it.
There's a lot of opportunity here.
Crypto Nights is not just a TV show, it is a complete ecosystem. Some people call it the Shark Tank for crypto. Projects from across the globe come and pitch to a very elite set of investors. We're an Emmy Award nominated production team. I've been in the entertainment business for about 20 years. We started generating revenue even before we started filming season 1. We generated $4.9 million worth of token revenue. In season 2, we are anticipating $6 million. Plus, Our goal is really to make this a global brand, and we want to lead this space with Kryptonites.
VC funding for crypto projects is not as robust as it was last year. Is that a challenge for you right now?
From our point of view, that's not a big challenge. Projects need us more now than ever before because we give them access to that capital. Folks like Blue Whale, I think they raised like over $1 million in that one session. So that's where we make that massive difference.
So if I own some Knight tokens, I'm owning a small piece of every company that's coming on your program in the future.
That's true, every single company. By simply buying the Kryptonite token, you could end up owning 100 different tokens.
2 thumbs up if you like this play. Arno's up, Jose 2 up, Christopher is in, Tracy's in, Federica's in, Oliver's in, Trevor's in, Camille's in, KN's in. Dr. Encore, your thoughts?
They've got the media distribution to actually help these projects do well and get the word out.
It has an excellent format. Seems to be very experienced in the media. He understands the crypto market, the crypto environment.
So this is an unusual project. It really is diversifying our portfolio. They already have a proven track record of being profitable in season 1.
I love the idea that it's not only investing in the production company, but also potential to invest in the other projects. I'm really excited about this one.
What do we think? Pretty cool, right? Pretty exciting, quite unique. What I love about this is this fact. By the way, 4 of our portfolio companies appeared on Crypto Nights and got money. One of them called Blue Whale AI, which is a highly anticipated AI blockchain company. They got $1 million on that show. So what I like about this company is, first of all, we own tokens in a crypto media company, which I think is the future. It's what we do as well. Second thing is we get tokens in every single company that goes on the show, and they only take the best companies. But the best part is that the companies that go on the show get up to $10 million in funding. So not only do you have great companies, but they're funded and they have a media push. And we get tokens in all of those companies, plus the actual Crypto Night tokens itself. You're just not going to see anything like this in Web3. There's not going to be another Web3 reality show you're going to have access to. And so we're scooping it up. What you also see is the format of the calls we have on Mondays and Thursdays. And by the way, you're all welcome to join us on those calls. The next one is going to be on Monday at 7 p.m. UK time, Thursday, 6 p.m. UK time. Send Martini a DM right now. If you're nice to her, she'll invite you on the call. And again, you'll see this format. It's like Shark Tank, but more fun. And what happens is the CEOs come on, they present to the group. I ask them really hard questions. We see if they can take the heat. If not, they got to get out of the kitchen. If we like the deal, everybody votes thumbs up or thumbs down. If we get enough people in the club that want to join and start the deal, then we go ahead and move forward. But we only do it if the group all agrees. And so it's really unique. It's an amazing way to learn. And we find that once people show up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 calls, even if you don't have investing experience, even if you don't have crypto experience, you'll really start to get a vibe. We were on the call last night, right, Martini? And we had a couple newbies on the call, a couple of women. And I was like, what'd you think? And they're like, look, my background's not blockchain, but something didn't feel right about that CEO, right? Angela, you said that, right? Angela was here. She was on the call last night. Angela was like, there's something missing about that. Something felt off about that CEO. And everyone was like nodding their head. We're like, yeah, it's like, it was all there logically, but we were missing the enthusiasm. We were missing something that just felt off. And you know, that sometimes is a really good gut reaction. And it only happens when you get a live presentation. Sometimes they're a little nervous because there's 30, 40 of us there. They're not used to that. I'm asking them hard questions to see, can they answer the question? Do we believe their answers? And so sometimes it's not about knowing the blockchains and the DeFi. It's about knowing people. And do you trust this CEO with your money to go out in a difficult market? And they're going to have to push forward every day. They're going to have to pivot that company and bring us back a big fat 10x, 20x return. And if you're not feeling it on the call, then Angela, you did the right thing. It's, you know, off with their heads, right? I would hate to see Angela back in the Roman Colosseum. She'd been like, kill them all, right? And so look, that's what we do. And it's a great way, and it's a great way to learn. So drop by on the next call. That's what we do inside the investment club, and you can come by as a visitor if you like. Look, the next deal I want to show you is something we're really excited about. It is a company that's been created and run by an MIT Sloan School professor. I went to MIT, so I got a soft spot for these people. And he has a patent on something called A-to-A technology. That's agent-to-agent artificial intelligent technology. Now, what does that mean? Look, a lot of you know about AI. Raise your hand if you're playing with AI in the backgrounds or you started to hear about it. Well, it's one thing if, you have one AI that's going to do something for you like ChatGPT. But the future is to have multiple AIs working as a team to do something for you. So think about it this way, Romana. You've got your AI travel agent, you got your AI fitness coach, you got your AI parental helper, right? You've got your AI relationship expert, and you've got your AI company person, and they all work together to optimize your life. To do that, it's quite complicated, right? They have to work with each other, they have to compensate each other, and there's a whole technology around that. This company called Synergetics already has big Web2 clients, right? Big Fortune 100 companies. They're getting investment from some of these companies, and we're expecting their token to come out sometimes in the next 60 to 90 days. We love this deal. It's actually filling up really fast, but this is just one of the many deals we get access to. This is Synergetics, and here is the CEO now.
I think it's really incredible.
Great presentation. The guy definitely knew what he was talking about.
This is their multi-billion-dollar unicorn, a legacy play.
I have a track record of actually delivering on startups. That's just me. This is me in the Agentic AI working group at MIT. We got written up in Forbes and MSN organically. And then we were also highlighted by NVIDIA at the Microsoft conference. And we have partnerships with Google, Plug and Play, Guidewire, and so on. So we are sort of like the creme de la creme of the people on this decentralized AI. We are a company that's powering the agent economy. Avatars, chatbots, voice agents, and embedded systems. So the market for this is roughly $70 billion, and we believe that we can take a market share of about $7 billion out of this. We have actually deployed agents in the field. We are currently generating revenues. This year we plan to crack low 7 digits.
Show me some thumbs here, please, everybody on the call. So Camille likes it, Christopher Molson likes it, Petia likes it, Daniel Walker likes it. We got Jacqueline Capstead with 2 thumbs up, 2 up from Paul, 2 up from Henry Shiner.
I think this can be a real success. I do see the differentiators with the many other agentic plays we've seen.
He really knows his stuff, his experience. I think it's really incredible.
I'm actually working for a financial institution, and we're currently implementing a lot of the AI agents that he's talking about.
You don't teach at MIT Sloan unless you're somebody that's up there. And he's had successful exits for large amounts of money.
We're investing in an expert in his field, and he is at the top of his level.
What do we think? Pretty cool, right? Very interesting. And look, we look at these deals all the time. We'll look at 200, 250 companies this year, and we say no to most of them. 80, 90%, we give them a thumbs down. And so we really have a good track record. And when someone like that comes in and the whole group was impressed, we get almost 100% thumbs up, then we go for it. And that's what we do, folks. We think there's only a limited time left before the whole altcoin season goes crazy, but there's still time left. We think 5 is probably the minimum number of deals you want going into a season like that. 10 is better, 20 is better. If there's somebody in the club that has 70, that's even better. And so it just depends on your resources and how much you want to make in this crypto cycle. So that's what we do behind the scenes. If you want to join us for our next call on Monday, just send Martini a DM and we can show you that. It's a lot of fun. Folks, a lot of people are asking us, how does London Real pick so many winners? It's one thing to have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but to consistently have 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14 massive successes, like how do you do it? And we thought about it long and hard, and we concluded that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Folks, this ain't our first rodeo. We have been doing this in the trenches since May of 21. Okay, that's a long time. We were here when Bitcoin peaked in November 21 at 69,000, and we were here when Bitcoin hit an all-time low of 16,000 in November 22. All right, we never stopped. We never missed a week. We kept investing. We kept teaching. And now the entire market knows us as hardcore players, right? They know us as OGs in this space. And we now have an incredible network, an incredible track record, and now a real system of making money. And that's what we're doing with all the people behind the scenes. Folks, a lot of you probably felt like Drake here on the top. You've invested in crypto on your own and you've had a bad experience. How many people here have ever lost money in crypto? Raise your hands. Come on, be honest. Thank you, Mr. Zoom attendee, Adrian. Anybody who hasn't, yeah, most people have, right? And that's the problem. People jump into crypto. They don't know what to buy. They go on X. They follow somebody with a fake name and a fake picture that tells them to buy a fake coin. The next day it's down 50%. And they say, to hell with this market. I don't want anything to do with this. And they leave. And it's a shame because crypto's not about buying meme coins and praying at night. That's not what it's about. It's a whole new financial system. It's about the internet of ownership. It's finally about really taking your own sovereignty over when it comes to your money. And so there's another way of doing this, folks. You can come alongside myself and the London Real team and the investment club and London Real Ventures, and we will show you a systematic way to make money over time, period. We're here for the next 10, 20 years to make a boatload of money, make lifelong friends, and change the world forever. That's what we're doing. And it's called the investment club. I don't know if you've ever struggled with money. Has anyone here ever been stressed out about money in your life? Man, I think we all have, right? I mean, I was a mess with money until I was 30 years old. I mean, literally a mess. I mean, I made some big salaries too. I was working on Wall Street, balling and spending every dollar and then some, right? American Express had a hitman looking for me. He used to call my dad at night and harass him. And I was like 27 years old. And he's like, Brian, like, really? Like, is this going to happen till you're 47 years old? And I was like, yeah, Dad, I got to figure this out. And so I've been there, right? It's hard to get ahead because schools teach us to be poor. How many people know what I'm talking about, right? Schools teach you to be poor, right? They don't teach you about money. They teach you to compete with each other, not to create. And so if you really want to change your future, you've got to unplug from the matrix. You've got to stop waiting for someone to give it to you. And you got to go grab it, Adrian. You got to go take it. And if you think saving your money is the way to financial freedom, you're off your damn rocker, okay? Putting your money in the bank and watching it turn into nothing is what you're doing. Do you know that the dollar has lost 30% of its value in the last 5 years? 30%. So if you put $1 in the bank, it'd be worth 70 cents today. How's that working out for you, right? What if you think your corporation is going to take care of you? Is that going to happen, Adrian? Your pension? No. What about your government? How's that Social Security working out, right? It's all failed. What about your bankers? You want to give them your money? You know, they're going to eat it up in fees and you will literally have nothing out left. I know, I used to work in a bank. So what's the last choice? Digital assets. Digital assets is your way to unplug from the matrix, right? You can start buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can invest in these companies and it's your money. How many people here have money in a bank account right now? How many people have your money in a bank account? Some of you. That's actually, you don't, Adrian, because it's not your money. The bank has custody of your money and they will return it to you if they feel like it. Isn't that fun? Has anyone here tried to get money out of your bank recently? Right? Are you kidding me? Yeah, you might as well go in there with a gun. You'll get it out faster, right? Oh, why do you need this money, Adrian? What are you going to use it for? Whoa, hold on a second. It's my money, right? Last time I checked, it's my goddamn money, pardon my language. And so, you know, but now they're not even giving you your money. And so we're in a really scary time right now. Your government is literally, they say taxation is theft and inflation is theft. So everybody left and right is trying to take your money away from you. You better come up with a new plan is what I would say. And that's exactly why we created the investment club, to solve these problems for really London Reelers around the world. And look, if this is of interest to you, the best way to find out more about it is to book a call with Martini. I'll talk about this at the end, but sometimes people don't make it through the presentation, and I want them to know that we have the solution to your problems about money, all right? It's one of the biggest problems that are out there. Most relationships end because of money, all right? That's just a true story. And this is the one thing that stresses out people the most. And again, if this is of interest to you and you want to really look into this, then take one of these links here or click on one of the chat links, book a call with Martini and have a conversation with her. She's spoken with thousands of people. It's not necessarily the right thing for everybody, but for some people, it's the thing they've been searching for a very long time. Folks, we also have a 4-week crypto and DeFi academy that starts on Monday. And there's a bunch of members in here. Kate Dixie's graduating. Angela's going to be on the next class. And there's a few other people here. Kristen right now is in the current one. And it's really an amazing course. We discounted it by 60%. It's only $999. And it's 4 weeks, 4 modules. It's an invitation-only program. And you get 8 hours of live calls with me. You get access to our online e-learning platform. I've got tons of videos and workbooks. I've got a triple-tiered accountability system. You have to do the work. We've got dedicated coaches, team leaders, and community managers. And we got a private group for posting assignments. In Module 1, we go through the history of crypto. You're going to read the Bitcoin white paper, learn about the discovery or creation of Ethereum, stablecoins, the DeFi summer of 2020 and beyond. Module 2, you're going to get to work. You're going to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum. You're going to set up your centralized exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken. You're going to set up your hot wallet on MetaMask, your cold wallet on Ledger, and you're going to do your first decentralized finance transaction, all in week 2, right? We don't play games here. Week 3, we go heavy into DeFi. You're going to lend out your money and earn returns on it. You're going to do liquidity pools and options. And in week 4, we're going to show you how to take that portfolio and multiply it and multiply it and multiply it. I've taken all of my experience on Wall Street, all of my experience in crypto, and put it all into this course. Again, I teach this live. I take this very seriously, and we start on Monday. So look, if you've already missed this whole wave of crypto, it's not too late. but you've got to start taking some action. And this one's a no-brainer, in my opinion. Like I said, we start Monday, highly discounted, and in 4 weeks, you're going to be ready to go. And then from there, you can start growing your wealth accordingly. You're actually pre-approved to buy if you're on this call at londonreal.tv/buy. Trust me, click the link, pull out the plastic, and just join me. It'll be the best decision you make this year, bar none. And also just want to give everybody a free, my 8-step trading checklist. You can take a screenshot of this if you want. We'll give it to you on the course. But if you go through each one of these steps before you make a trade, you're going to save a lot of money, probably tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars over your trading lifetime. And I'll teach you everything I know about this industry. Folks, this is the new news. Everyone's asking, is it the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds? What is the future of these families that are going to turn into these massive wealth conglomerates? And what are you doing is my question, because Bitcoin is really quietly on the brink of this $84 trillion price earthquake. And what does that mean? Well, we're looking right now at what we call these Bitcoin dynasties. And, you know, the Trump family is one that's amassing it. I know some very prominent families in the Middle East that are doing this. And I know some big players in China and Asia that are doing this right now. And whereas in the past, this was done through industrial enterprises, this is done with land, this was done with other technology. Now this is going to be done with cryptocurrency. Does that concept make sense to everybody here? Adrian, seems like you're with me. Sandeep is with me as well, right? And there's even an interesting argument right now of people going out saying, you know what? Work is for chumps. The future is about ownership. It's not about working. It's about what do you own? And that's a weird concept for me because I grew up saying, you work, the harder you work, the more you get. The harder work, the more you get. But the truth is, it's the smarter you work, right? I know Adrian's with me here. I can see you looking at me. So working smarter means get hold of these digital assets sooner. Because if you work for the man and put your money in the savings account, you can work so hard over the next 20 years and have nothing. But what if you start investing in digital assets now? You know, there's a great line in the movie Wall Street where Gordon Gekko looks at Bug Fox and he's like, I don't do anything. I own. That's what he says. I create nothing. I own. And it's like, whoa, what did he just say? He didn't create anything. He just owns. And so this really could be the future. Let me tell you one other crazy thing that'll blow your mind. And Sam, you might like this one. The Trump family, after 70 years of working in the trenches of real estate, amassed maybe $1 billion, $1.5 billion in wealth, right? In the last 3 years, they've doubled or tripled that in crypto. Think about that. Just think about that. Through Trump's dad and Trump and the kids and the hotels and all that. And then think about the last 3 years just going into crypto. They've doubled or tripled that. So even one of the greatest entrepreneurial families in the world realized this, made a pivot, and is now making multiples on what they made over 70 years. Does that blow anybody away here? Right? If that wasn't evidence, this is the new evidence, right? This is the new industrial revolution. This is the new tech revolution. And anybody can get in on it, but you have to pull the trigger. You have to stop watching it and doing it. For most of the people here on this call, you got to stop watching videos and stop reading articles and get out there and pull the trigger on these things. That's the only way to do it. And again, Trump's just announced another announcement recently where their World Liberty Financial, which is their decentralized finance protocol, they just announced that they've now created a treasury company for that. So this is a publicly listed vehicle on the New York Stock Exchange that's sole purpose is to buy tokens of World Liberty Financial. Why? Well, not everybody can buy tokens right now. So if you want to buy access to Trump's DeFi company, you can now buy a stock on the New York Stock Exchange. And this is the latest rage. It's called treasury companies, right? I'm currently advising on an XRP treasury company. There'll be an announcement in the next couple of weeks. I'm advising on another Bitcoin treasury company. This is the future. And some of our companies, and Martini, I might even say some of the ones I showed you today, might soon have their own treasury companies as well. And this is another way to just give it a huge boost of injection and liquidity, because when there's a stock or a company that's buying up tokens, guess what? It pushes our tokens up as well. And so this is just another evidence, a piece of evidence of what these families are going to create. And of course, now people are calling for 150K Bitcoin, which is not a far stretch at all from its all-time high. It's 20% above the all-time high. And Ethereum, now people are calling for $10,000. I've even heard 20,000, 40,000. Tom Lee, who has, I think, the biggest Ethereum treasury company, I think he owns $3 or $4 billion now of Ethereum. He the other day said, I think Ethereum's going to 70,000. Okay, that's a 14x from where we are today. And of course, Standard Chartered Bank just called for $500,000 Bitcoin. Could that happen this cycle? It's not going to happen this year. So if the crypto cycle ends this year and we have a bear market in 26, which is very possible, that's historically what happened, then I don't think we're hitting 500K. But if it continues, then we very well could. And again, what I've learned, one thing about this space is never, ever underestimate how wrong you can be in crypto. So I could be wrong. And folks, we've now heard that a new wave or a $15 trillion earthquake is heading straight for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. My question to you is, are you invested enough? Here you are on this call. You know crypto is the next big thing. But if crypto does what you think it's going to do, Adrian and Sandeep and Sam and Ramana, are you going to make millions of dollars in the next 4 months? If the answer isn't yes, then what are you doing, right? I would hate for you to look back in February and said, yep, I knew all that was going to happen. I called it. I posted on my X. It's like, okay, what did you make? $3, $4, or $5 million? I made 40 grand. Okay. Then why? What's the point of this? You know, I missed the tech revolution 25 years ago. I waited most of my life for this. I'm not going to wait another 25 years. It's going to happen right now. And it means going into the fear and pulling the trigger. And that's what we're doing. Folks, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London recently, and I actually ran on a pro freedom of speech and pro crypto platform. I wanted all the voting to be on the blockchain. I wanted the budget of London to be on the blockchain. And I also wanted the creation of the London coin. I was actually going to put 100 pounds of crypto in the wallet of every man, woman, and child to actually give them the financial education they deserve. Of course, they weren't ready for me in London. Sandeep, they voted for the other guy. So I'm just going to make all of you rich instead. Does that sound good? It's more fun. It's more fun doing it that way anyways. And so that's why I spend 6 months of the year in Dubai. And this is my studio there because I still understand it's the center of crypto. And what I do is I build the relationships there that'll create the deals that'll make you millions of dollars. And here I am with Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni. He's become a good friend, runs the Dubai Blockchain Center and the AI Center. He's highly plugged into crypto. This is Uni Wong. She's a crypto influencer, big on meme coins. A tweet from her can move markets. This is Carl Moon. He was working as a grocery store clerk in Sweden a few years ago, and now he's a crypto billionaire. Yeah, I've seen the Bugatti. I've seen it all. And so when I see and hear from people like you that say, Brian, I don't have enough money. I'm so busy right now. I got a job. I just laugh because none of you are worse off than being a grocery store clerk in Sweden. I'm sorry, but you're not. And yet he made it happen. So why can't you? Because you don't believe? Because you're too scared? Maybe. But you can do it. So please don't tell me you can't. This is Chris MM Crypto. He was driving a taxi in Germany a few years ago, and now he's a crypto billionaire. Okay, I know him very well in Dubai. These guys ball like nobody's business. Like Chris has a van, a Mercedes-Benz van. It's like a, I don't know, it's like one of those airport transport vehicles, Martini. And he's got a driver. And I'm like, you going to the conference? He's like, yeah, I'm taking my van over. He's like, I got a bathroom in the back. I got a widescreen TV. Sometimes I get a massage. And then I make sure that when I'm traveling over, I can record my videos. And then if I'm in the conference and I need a break, I go out to my van and I'm like, okay, it's just like a whole nother level. When Carl goes traveling, he books a jet to take him to Paris, and he books another jet for the Bugatti to come with him, right? Now, I'm not saying you have to do this with your money. That's your business. But I'm just saying there's another level. And these guys made it happen from taxi car drivers, taxi cabs, and grocery store clerks. So don't tell me you can't do it. You can. It's just whether you can free your mind and get out of all that programming. Folks, right now we're investing over $5 million into 15 different blockchain and AI deals this quarter. Why do I tell you that? Because we are plugged in. We know what's hot, what's not. And if you come on these calls, you're going to see some of the hottest deals on the planet. And it's all because of London Real Ventures. This is the world's first media-powered investment firm. This has never been done in history. No one's ever dared take a massive media company like London Real with 14 years, 1 billion views, 5 million followers on social media, and combined it with a venture capital company with $25 million in capital. You put these two together, magic happens. Magic looks like this. This is our portfolio, all right? What you see here is the best of the best, the creme de la creme of Web3 investments. Each one of these companies with the potential to become the next $2, $5, $10 billion protocol. and along the way, making every single one of my members in the investment club filthy rich. And that's my goal. And what you see here is decentralized finance protocols. You see artificial intelligence on the blockchain. You see gaming companies. You see billion-dollar funds. This is what we're doing behind the scenes, and you can be a part of it. And right now, we've just passed a major milestone. We've crossed over $22 billion invested into over 100 blockchain and AI companies. Folks, we are bigger than most venture capital companies in blockchain, all right? And we started, as a broadcasting channel. And now we're bigger than most of those players, and we're just getting warmed up. And we're the best we've ever been right now. Now, you could have started with us 4 years ago when we were just getting started, but now we know what we're doing, and we're just going to the next level. Folks, one of the reasons we win is because we invest alongside of the big money. I'm talking about $10 billion funds, okay? Things you've heard of like Coinbase Ventures, ARK Invest, that's Cathie Woods, Andreessen Horowitz, Galaxy Digital, even Warner Brothers Music. And that's one of the reasons we make a lot of these big returns. And of course, recently we were voted the best venture capital KOL of the year. KOL stands for Key Opinion Leader. And I was excited in Singapore to accept this award on the behalf of all the members of our investment club. And of course, a lot of you know, I just received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Global Family Office Summit for our media and our investment knowledge. And it was really great to receive that from some really esteemed people. And look, the entire crypto community knows who we are. They know who we are here at London Real Ventures, and they know who we are at London Real. And that's because we constantly represent. And so recently, when the Crypto Fight Night called me up and said, Brian, how would you like to jump in the ring? This young man has been talking some trash about you. I thought, you know what? I'm going to lace up these gloves and teach these young kids some manners, right, Sandeep? Kids these days, And so I had to get in there and, show them what's what. And apparently now he wants some more. And so October 1st, Singapore is the rematch. Get your tickets now. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. How many people try to live their life that way? How many people want to live their life that way? Come on, anybody with me here? Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sandeep. If not, get off my call. I don't need your negative vibes around me, right? We're going to change the world. We did it in 2020 when they tried to come after us. You remember, Sandeep, right? $1 trillion tech companies trying to shut us down, government three-letter organizations trying to tell us what to do. We said, to hell with all you. We're going to create our own platform. We're going to do the biggest live stream in the world. And we fought back and won. And we're going to do it again right here. And that's exactly what our plan is. And of course, it all comes down to our mission statement. And this is written on our wall here at our London Real World headquarters. And we're here to create a mass scale transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. We're not like the rest of the people out there. We're not like your mainstream media and your big tech and your big pharma and all those nonsense companies. We're not trying to take away your power and to take away your consciousness and to make you fight with each other. We're here to do this together. And that's one of the reasons we attract these investments. But of course, a lot of you know, for me, it's not just business, it's also personal, because I got these two handsome devils to look out for. This is Caden on the right. He just turned 9. This is Damon in the middle. He literally just turned 8. And what can I say? I have to look out for their futures, right? And I'm worried. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm worried that 10 years from now, their lives are going to be dominated by robots powered by AI. I'm worried their banks are going to censor their transactions. I'm worried their governments are going to print so much money that they're going to have nothing left. And so when it comes to 2035, when Caden and Damon come to me and say, Papa, where's our Bitcoin? I'm not going to give them some excuse. And so look, I'm guessing a lot of you people have people in your life you have to take care of. Raise your hand if you got somebody you're looking out for, or maybe somebody in the future. Your parents aren't getting any younger, are they? Right? Well, what are you going to tell them 10 years from now? Oh, it was the government. They printed too much money. That's why I can't help you. Right? Are you going to give some excuse? I hope you don't, because they're not going to want to hear it. And the truth is this, is that Papa wakes up every single day and I have to take massive risk, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to create any value and make any money. If you want reward, you must take risk. And so every day I wake up in the morning and I look at the scariest thing out there and I try to force myself to do it. And that's the only way I can guarantee any type of success or long-term value creation over time. Does that make sense to everybody here? There's that old phrase, playing it safe is the most dangerous thing you can do. And yet most of you, that's exactly what you're doing. Oh, no, I'm not ready. No, that sounds risky. Maybe later. Okay, well, great. You're going to be rewarded accordingly with a whole lot of nothing. Okay, so think about this. Think about who you're doing this for. Think about your family and think about your future. Folks, this is Michael Saylor. and he thinks Bitcoin is the apex property of the human race. Michael owns $75 billion worth of Bitcoin, and he's currently buying another $40 billion. Michael thinks that each Bitcoin is going to $13 million each. And he believes that AIs and ETFs are going to power a decade-long gold rush for Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people in my Crypto and DeFi Academy now say, Brian, where should I get my information about crypto? What website do I go to? Who do I follow? And I'm like, you know what? Forget the websites. Forget Twitter. What you need to do is learn from the OGs in this space. Learn from the Michael Saylors. Learn from the Dan Tapieros. Learn from the Yatsus. Listen to them for 10 hours, 20 hours, 50 hours. That's how you learn. Now, Michael was on our show twice. He's obviously done huge things for crypto. I actually think there's going to be a statue built for Michael Saylor one day alongside that of Satoshi Nakamoto. And this is what Michael said to me. Listen carefully.
We went from investing 250 million in Bitcoin to 425 million in Bitcoin to eventually $1 billion in Bitcoin to $2 billion in Bitcoin to just slightly less than $4 billion.
You said there are decades when nothing happens and there are weeks when Bitcoin happens.
So every decade there's some profound paradigm shift. It's such an out of the blue idea that no one can conceive of why you would even want it. What you've got is a lot of people questioning all their premises, and rising through that chaos is a new idea. What if I can encrypt energy? What if I can encrypt money such that nobody on earth, no government can debase it, no corporation can steal it? I don't trust anybody. I'm going to create a shared immutable ledger, incorruptible, immortal, transcendental ledger. If I can transfer $1 million of value from me to you without an intermediary, that means I have transcended the political realm.
You said, Brian, I like Bitcoin because it has low aspirations.
The idea of Bitcoin was, how do I create a protocol that's fair and equitable that I give as a gift to the world that no one can control? If you're going to do it and you understand thermodynamics, and if you have any sense of genetics or biology or physics, you realize you need to be very humble in your aspirations. How do we give the gift of property rights, freedom, and sovereignty and empowerment to everybody on the planet? The best idea 30 years ago was YouTube or Google Maps, Twitter or Facebook or email. I think the best idea for the next 30 years is digital energy. Everybody can own their stuff and nobody can take it away from them.
We like Michael. We feeling his vibes, right? Really an incredible guy. And again, he invented this concept of a treasury company, which meant I'm going to put tokens on my balance sheet and the company is going to be worth more than the tokens. And now there's 135 public companies with Bitcoin, and there's another 100 companies that are now acquiring other tokens. And it's just been an entire game changer. So look, it's great to listen to the OGs. Again, be careful of all the news sites and the Twitters and stuff. Just try to learn really from the OGs in the space. Takeaways from Michael is this. Number one, crypto is encrypted energy. Michael believes it's like walking around with a pocket full of energy, right? It's a really, really important concept. Two, no government can debase it. No corporation can steal it because crypto transcends money. It's the soundest money you've ever experienced. None of this dollar trash and euro and pound nonsense. This is real money like you've never felt it before. Folks, if it wasn't obvious, 2025 is the year of crypto. You've already missed 2/3 of it, and you're going to miss the whole damn thing unless you take some action. Folks, I'm serious about this because I was there for the dot-com boom, and I didn't make any money, and a lot of my friends didn't either. This is the next version of that, except this is going to be 10 times bigger, and you're watching it all happen in front of your eyes. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, except this isn't a wreck. This is the greatest opportunity of your life, and most people aren't doing anything about it. It pains me to see people this close, but they just won't jump in because of their fears. I'm here to tell you that you're going to snap your fingers. It's going to be New Year's Eve and you have missed this whole damn thing. Don't miss it. Find a way to take action. So where and how do we invest? Well, first you have to find the hottest trend, and I'll share with you our investment thesis in the next few slides. But there's one thing you need that you will never, ever, ever in a million years find on your own. And that is deal flow. Deal flow. and more deal flow. And I'm talking about real deal flow. I'm talking about the top 1/10 of 1% of all deals. That's how you get your 22Xs, right? Adrian, if you think you go to a conference, or maybe Sandeep, you think you go onto LinkedIn, or maybe Angela, you jump on some Telegram group and you're going to find a deal. Yeah, good luck with that. That's a great way to lose all your money, not just the 10 grand you invested. I'm talking about everything, right? And I've heard the horror stories. I've read the articles. People start with a little and they go more and more and more. Pretty soon the house is gone, the car is down, the marriage is gone, and it's over. All because you started off on the wrong foot with the wrong people in the wrong deals. Now, look, I'm not saying everyone's a bad actor in crypto, but there's a lot. But some people just don't know what they're doing, and it's in a very risky space. We bring the best of the best of the best, and that's why we're successful. And that's why I spent the last 5 years traveling the world, building the relationships to bring you the deals that'll make you millions of dollars. Now, here's my first trip to Dubai. On the left, I'm hanging out with those big influencers, Carl and Chris. In the middle, hanging out with members of government, venture capitalists, and key opinion leaders. From there, I took a flight to Paris. I sat down at a private dinner with some of the biggest VCs on the planet, some of the hottest crypto deals out there. Of course, I always do media. I shoot documentary films, more VCs, more influencers. And then I had to get back to London. I sat down with Yatsu, did an episode of him at London Real, went to the Token 2049 conference, more influencers, more VCs, and then it's off to Austin, Texas. This is the Consensus Conference, the biggest in North America. I'm hanging out with celebrities like William Shatner of Star Trek, my good friend Alex Jones, and of course, more influencers, more VCs. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see me and 14 members of our investment club. Can everyone see those people down there smiling and laughing? Why are they having so much fun, Sandeep? Because they're making so much cash, right? They were just, you should have seen what happened afterwards, right? There's just money everywhere. I was like, guys, relax, right? We're gonna freak these Texans out. And that's what happens when we get together, because we're making a boatload of money. We're making lifelong friends, and we're changing the world, and we're working with the coolest founders in crypto. It's always a good time. From there, I was off to Singapore, and I'll be there next month, of course, in the ring and outside of the ring. And it's important because Asia is still a huge, huge factor. There's a lot of buyers in China of Bitcoin. Let's be honest. They're getting their money out of that country with crypto, and nobody talks about it, but there's a ton of money in Asia, and there's some great ecosystems. Vietnam is I think, the most crypto adopted country in the world. A lot of people don't know that. Indonesia's massive. Singapore, of course. South Korea, massive. Hong Kong is the bridge to China. There's so much going on there. And so you can see me here. And Adrian, you can see me. I seem like I'm changing the color of my suit every day. What's wrong with me, Adrian? I got the white suit. I got the orange suit. I got the red suit. I got the pinstripe suit. I don't know. I obviously have a problem with attention, right? Some people say my mom didn't give me enough attention, right? And so here I am with the suits. Look, either way, maybe that's true. It's from my therapist, who is yet to be employed at this point. The suits also bring us deals, because when they see the guy with the orange suit from across the room, it's like, who the hell is that guy? And then he walk over to me and say, who the hell are you? And I'm like, well, I'm Brian Rose of London Real Ventures. And they're like, well, I actually have a deal. And I'm like, all right, talk to me. So we've actually made millions of dollars from these suits. Just don't tell my tailor, or he'll want to cut. Of course, from here, I was off to Toronto, and this was the Consensus Conference just a few months ago. Again, hanging out with all the big players and the OGs in the space. And this time, about 35 members of our investment club showed up. You can see on that bottom right-hand corner, we're all getting a little crazy. And some of them are even trying to outsuit me. Can you just see that, right? That's the audacity, Sam, of trying to outsuit me. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And look, it's a lifelong program. So we're here for a long time. You can see Jose in there. He brings his 3 sons with him everywhere, right? And so it's a whole family affair. We have entire families in our club: mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends. We think it's all really important. And of course, I always make it back to Dubai. Here I am. We did a movie premiere. I'm interviewing people on stage, and of course, hanging out with CZ, the legend of Binance, here as well. And this is what I do, folks. I'm on repeat. I'll be in Singapore in 4 weeks. I'll be back to Dubai. And I think that relationships are made the old-fashioned way, not on Twitter. They're done in person, right? Does anyone feel the same way? Right? That's how you do it, especially when you're talking deals and money. You have to really build those over time. And a lot of these people in crypto, they've known me for the last 10, 14 years as London Real. It really makes a big difference. Folks, if you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best. What does that mean? Well, this is the snapshot of the number of deals we're going to look at every single week. We're going to boil these down into the very best, and the 2 or 3 or 4 deals you're going to see on that Monday and Thursday call are going to come from here, and they're going to be incredible ones. And that's how you're going to learn. And that's how you're going to get access to those deals that will 20x, 30x, and 40x. But you also have to understand the financial tools. And I would say nobody on this call really understands this tool. Nobody does. And what do I mean? Well, first, you've got to understand the trend. And this is our investment philosophy. We believe that early stage Web3, metaverse, and artificial intelligence investments, well, we think they represent the hottest opportunity on the planet. Why? Well, number one, you buy at super low valuations. I'm talking about pennies on the dollar, and I'll show you an example shortly. Number two, because of that, you see the biggest gains possible. Number three, you invest in what I'm calling the biggest dislocation of wealth in human history, happening right now. Yes, it's high risk, but the reward is even higher. And I'm talking about pre-sale token investing. All right. Nobody's talking about this. No one's teaching this, and no one's giving you access to the deals. It's just not being done right now. And I don't know why, but I don't really care. I just know what we're doing right now. I focus on my members, making them wealthy. That's my job. And this is the way we found to consistently do it over time. Right. And that's why we stick to this. And I'll give you the best example. How many people here know Solana or know it really well again? Quite a few of you, right? Okay. Well, here are the details, folks. Can everyone see that red circle here? April 5th, 2018. Can everyone see the blue circle? 4 pennies each. This is all on the blockchain. It's public information. You can look it up, but it's very hard to find because Coinbase doesn't want you to know that the token it's about to sell you for $210 could have been bought for 4 pennies. So you've probably never even heard of this before. Okay, but this is how we're making lots of money behind the scenes. So what happened here? You know what happened. 4 pennies went to $210, and $1,000 invested would be worth $5 million today. That's one deal, Kristen, right? One deal. There's a woman in our course has 70 deals. Think about it. If each one of those did this, she'd be worth $350, $400 million. Okay? Think about that, right? This is real money. Now, for me, money equals freedom. For me, it's not about the Bugatti. It's not about flying private. It's not about the beachfront property. For me, I want my freedom. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. All right. That's what I want. How many people here want more freedom in their life? Anybody? I think that's what we all want, right? Okay. Sandeep's like, I'll take 10 of those. Yes. I'm with you, brother. All right. And so, yes. And that's what I think it is. And let me just take a minute here and tell you what makes us different here at London Real. There's a lot of people in crypto that want to sell you the dream of getting rich. Okay, great. If you want to make money, that's great. But making money is not the end goal. Okay. I used to make a lot of money as a banker, and I was a miserable, miserable bastard. Okay. Really miserable, right? I know a lot of people out there that are billionaires that are miserable. The end goal is not the money. Okay. The money is a means of you getting some separation, getting some breathing room, getting some time away, and trying to gain some perspective. And in my mind, what that's going to give you is time to figure out what is your gift to this world? What is your purpose on this planet? And that's why we're here. We're here to create that generational wealth so you can then take that freedom and go do something amazing with it. And I don't know what you want to do. You know, Angela, maybe you want to start your own company. Maybe you want to quit your job. Maybe you want to give it all to charity. Maybe you want to put your grandkids through college. That's amazing. But I think that's all ultimately what we want. Does that make sense to everybody here? And this is what makes us different. So I'm not going to tell you the money's going to buy you happiness, because it won't. But I believe if used correctly, it's going to put you in a position to find why you're here on this earth. And that's what we're doing here on the inside. Now, let me zoom out really quick. Did anybody buy Solana for 4 pennies each? Just raise your hand, right? Nobody here. Now, why? Let's just think outside of the box. Why didn't I buy Solana for 4 pennies? I'll tell you why. Because you didn't know someone like Brian Rose. You didn't have someone like me that could have sent you a text message on the morning of April 5th, 2018 saying, hey, Adrian, I got this new token called Solana. How would you like to buy for 4 pennies each? Here's a link if you want to, right? How many people would have liked to get that text from me on the morning, right? You can delete it if you want, Adrian, but you might as well have the option, right? Okay, most people say yes. Well, look, that's not theoretical, because that's what I do every single day. We have a Telegram group for the investment club, and every single day I send everybody a text message. This is our Telegram group, and it's got a link. You click on the link, and in 30 seconds, you can invest in the deal. My job is to get you the hottest deals on the planet every single day. And then you make the decision. Sam, you make the decision, right? I don't invest your money. I think that's an insult. My job is to invest in your education and to help you with the due diligence and make sure that we all make the decision to invest in these companies. You choose. For as little as $5,000 each, you get access to deals that would normally require $1 billion fund. And that's what we do every single day. And it reminds me of one of my favorite movies. It's called Wall Street. And there's a point in the movie where Gordon Gekko on the right looks to Bud Fox and he says, the most valuable commodity I know of is information. Now think about that. He didn't say it was a stock or a bond or a bar of gold or a piece of Manhattan real estate. He said it was information because old Gekko knew the right info at the right moment can make billions of dollars. How many people agree with Gekko? Most valuable commodity is information, right? That's what I deal in. The highest quality information at the perfect point in time to give you the opportunity to make these decisions. That's how you get a 50X, okay? They don't come out of nowhere. They're not magical. They don't ride on unicorns and come through the sky. They're done through tons of hard work, okay? And education. And they present at a specific point in time, and there's very limited number of people that get access to that. It's only London Real family, London Real members. You're only invited to this call because you've been to our website, you've watched our videos for years. That's the only people we allow in our group, okay? And we're very precious for that information. And that's how we're able to make so much money. Folks, there's one last piece. If you want to create generational wealth, you got to pull the trigger. And most of you are trigger shy. You're paralyzed, right? You're sitting there, right? What do they say? Research is procrastination in disguise, right, Sandeep? And you guys are all there researching. Let's go research it some more. Tell me about the Bitcoin halving. How does it work? Ethereum proof of stake. How does it work? Who cares how it works? Let's get you invested and get you wealthy. Then you can spend more time on how it works, right, Sandeep? Right? Look, I believe in education, but I don't believe in education for education's sake. I know some people, they'll tell me every little detail about Bitcoin, how the hashing works, how the 4-year cycle works. I'll be like, well, how much money you made? Okay, that doesn't mean anything, right? One of my mentors worked in the oil and gas business for 20 years. You can probably guess who it is, right? And at one point, he was up there giving a presentation. He was 3 years in the business. And at one point, he was giving this presentation, and the engineers were in the back, and they were like, get off stage, get off stage. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he comes off stage, and they said, Dan, what were you saying up there? And Dan said, well, what do you mean? And he said, Dan, he said, the oil and the gas, it comes out of the same pipe, right? He was the CEO of a major drilling company. He said, it comes out of the same pipe, Dan. And Dan didn't know that. And he said to him, it doesn't matter if it comes out of 14 pipes. I'm there to make money on it, okay? Right? And so this is something to remember sometimes. Sometimes we all get caught up in learning, okay? It's only relevant if you create value from it. And I'll say one more thing. High performance people make decisions based on imperfect information, which means you go ahead and decide, is the deal hot or is it not? Because when you've gotten done researching it to death, right, Kristen, the opportunities passed you by. So we make an educated decision quickly, and we make a decision. We know it's not perfect, but if we waited for it to be perfect, it would be over. And this is the difference between wealthy people and really knowledgeable people on crypto. Does this make sense? Everybody here, right? And it reminds me of a video that my mentor used to play for me, and I'm going to play for you right here, right? And it's the story of the two lions. And I like playing it because sometimes it reminds people of maybe something that you've been doing. Now, maybe you have been researching things to death. Maybe you've been watching opportunities go by and never know when to grab one, right? And maybe you're like this lion here, super hungry, super poor, could really use one of these Whittlebees to take home to the family and to have a nice meal. But you're just not sure, right, Adrian? No, not that one. No, Kristen, want to research that one. Oh, maybe not that one. Oh, no, that could hurt me. No, that's too scared. Gosh, I'm really hungry. Oh, no. And then someone else comes in from one of my investment clubs and says, it's a 40X right there. Yum, 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 yum. So easy, right? What's the difference between those two lions, right? What's the difference? They're both hungry. They're both capable. Just one said, to hell with this, I'm going for it, right? And so I just caution you, a lot of us here, we're just too careful. And that used to be me many, many years ago. and this is one of the things, it was good to have that mentor. He said, Brian, he said, you don't take enough risk. He said, you overthink things. He said, you're an engineer. That's my training. I'm an engineer. And he said, what you do is you overanalyze things and you paralyze yourself. Analysis paralysis. He said, the only way to get information is to pull the trigger. That's the only way. And this is what happens when you pull the trigger. You get a beautiful portfolio like this. Each one of these deals with the potential to become an next $2 to $5 or $10 billion company. And again, making all of my members just filthy, stinking rich. And it's all because of London Real Ventures. This is the vehicle that allows me to give you access to the world's best deals for as little as $5,000 each. And it all comes down to my quadruple threat. This is what the CEOs want. Number one is production. They fly to London, sit in my leather chair, talk to me, 6-camera, high definition, 2-hour conversation. We create the greatest piece of media they've ever seen in their whole lives. I distribute this to 5 million people worldwide, number 2. Number 3, I connect them with the big names in the business, the Yatsus, the Dan Tapieros, the you name it. And number 4, I write them a big fat $200,000 check. There is nobody, not a single CEO in the world that can say no to this, which means I get their deals and I show them to you. And I say no to most of them. It's terrible. I mean, they keep texting me for months, Brian. I'm like, no, it's not good enough. We only take the best. Folks, there's one last part here, and I don't want to hit this too hard because this can offend people. If you're easily offended, then just leave the call. But I think this is important because I think this is the thing that's stopping you the most. If I'm really honest, this is probably what's holding you back. And that is you're not surrounding yourself with the best people in your life. Now, how many people agree with this statement? You're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Anybody? Adrian, you know that's true. Kristen, Kate knows. And as one of my mentors used to say to me, who are you hanging out with, Brian? Losers. That's why you're getting loser results. Now, I'm not saying you're hanging out with losers, but a lot of us have a toxic family member in our life that's constantly belittling us, or maybe an old friend from high school that still acts like they're in high school, right, Adrian? You know what I'm talking about, right? Does anybody have one of those people in your life? Someone who doesn't share your lofty goals or is maybe constantly nitpicking at your thing, right? You got to get rid of those folks. You got to surround yourself with people that are where you want to be, right? Where do you want to be in 5 years? You got to hang out with those people now. And yet it's a very difficult thing to do. And it made me look at my life. I was really blessed or lucky in the first 10 years of my life to constantly be upgrading my peer group. Now here Brian is on the left, 16 years old, making $6 an hour in San Diego. And that's where I would have stayed. I might be there today doing the same thing. But I got a chance to study at MIT. I flew across the country 6 hours, got completely uncomfortable, got my butt kicked by the smartest people in the world. But 4 years later, I figured it out and I graduated from MIT. All right. Is that an improvement in my peer group, would you say, Adrian, hanging out with those people? Yes, it was. The problem is I was still broke as a joke college kid. And I thought, you know what? Now it's time to make some money. So I took those grades at MIT and I went to Wall Street. And here I am on the right, 33rd floor, Bankers Trust Plaza, 1993. And I'm on a hardcore trading floor, 300 of the most cutthroat alpha male and female traders, each fighting for their $9 to $12 million bonus. And if you get in their way, they will knock you on the ground. That happened to me multiple times, okay? Nasty, yelling, spitting, throwing things at you. It was brutal, okay? But I was also surrounded by some seriously high performance people. Like when I was in college, I didn't even think anybody could make $10 million in a year. I was like, what? And yet there they were. And after suffering about 4 or 5 years of that abuse, I became one of them and started making millions of dollars. My point is this: I could have never got there if I hadn't got around different people in my life, okay? You really are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And most people nod their head, and guess what you're going to do tonight? You're going to go back and hang out with the same people you've been hanging out with for 5 years. And I fast forward 10 years, and you're going to be with the same people. And guess what? You're going to get the same results. Adrian, let me ask you a question. What if you go home tonight or go out with your mates and hang out with them and say, guess what? I was just watching on this cool masterclass, and guess what? I'm going to make $10 million in crypto with Brian Rose this year. What are your mates going to say, Adrian? What are they going to say? They're going to look at you like you're crazy. They're going to be like, oh man, here comes Adrian again, talking about that crypto. He must be drinking again. There we go. God bless him. You know, he's always dreaming, isn't he? Yeah. All right. Let's talk about something important like the football match or the boxing on the weekend, right? Right? They're not going to believe you, right? They're not going to believe you because the truth is that they love you, but they love you just the way you are. And they want you to be successful as long as you're not more successful than them. The problem is that most of the people around us don't really want us to knock it out of the park. And I get it. They're just protecting themselves and their egos and their relationship with you. So if you want it, you got to get out of your comfort zone. And that's why I created the investment club. So you can hang out with people like Marianne Bartels. Okay. She's one of our founding members. She's a 35-year Wall Street veteran, chief investment officer for Merrill Lynch, Bank of America. Yeah, those banks. She's made her clients tens of billions of dollars. Now, Adrian, what do you think Marianne's going to say to you when you tell her you want to make 10 million bucks in crypto this year? What's she going to say? She's going to say, Adrian, baby, $10 million. Let's make 100 million. Let's make $1 billion over 10 years. Like, come on, let's go. Right? Who wants a Marianne like that in your life? Are you kidding me? This is priceless. Priceless. I mean, I literally cannot put a price on this. And look, I'm telling you, fast forward 30 years from now, we're all going to be too old to make a difference. Now, you want someone like that in your life, or you want to go hang out with the mates at the pub? Okay, it's your choice. But that's the difference between your success, right? The problem is spending time with someone like a Marianne. You could fly right now to Wall Street, sit outside her office, and beg to buy her a coffee, and she would walk by you and say, I can't, I'm too busy. Because why the hell would she waste her time with you? This is a way of getting in the same room with this woman to watch how she moves. I'm telling you, it's not what these people do, it's what they don't do, Adrian. It's not what she says, it's what she doesn't say. That's the thing when you start hanging out with high-performance people. This is Tigran. He's one of America's top 100 criminal defense attorneys, one of the most sought-after litigators in the world. This is your new peer group. He's one of my founding members, all right? He recently went out to Beverly Hills, took Martini and a bunch of our members out to dinner, bought them all flowers. I mean, this guy's next level. When you're hanging out with him, Adrian, he's not talking about the 6 hours he just binged watch on Netflix. He's not talking about how hungover he is or the score of the game on the weekend. He's not gossiping about the neighbors, Kristen. He's talking about the next $1 billion idea, okay? This is Andrew Haynes. He's one of our technical experts. He can walk you through any blockchain, any game, anything you need. Here he is graduating from one of the top executive training schools in Switzerland. He'll jump on a Zoom call with you anytime to bring you up to speed in anything you need. This is Dr. Encore. 4 years ago, he was in medicine. He took our Crypto and DeFi Academy 4-week course, graduated, took the Kings of DeFi, graduated, was the founding member of the investment club. We hired him a year ago just to source deals. He's one of the best in the world at it. Okay, this is your new peer group. I got 146 more of these people, all right? 146 more. This is how you take your life to the next level. Now, a lot of you are nodding with me, but you probably wouldn't spend a dime to get in the right room with these people. I don't know why. Maybe you're too scared. Maybe it's too intense. Maybe your subconscious wants to play it safe. That's probably all true. But if you really want the change, get around the right people. Trust me, this is the way to do it. And this is our family, folks. These are some selfies I took behind the scenes. And when we get together, we just love it. All right. We love being together. We're all on the same wavelength. Nobody belittles each other. We all make money together. And this is a private event we had in London recently. And again, just people flew in from all over the world and we just had an amazing time. Folks, I believe your net worth is your network. How many people agree with that? Right? That's what it is. You've got to make those changes. I believe you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. We teach people how to fish, folks. That's what we want to do. And that's why we created the investment club. Because 4 years ago in 21, we did our first pre-sale token investment. And I won't lie, I'll be honest, it scared the heck out of me, right? It really did. I had some random kid on a Zoom call, never met him before. And then 20 minutes later, he said, send $100,000 in stable coins to this wallet. I was like, bro, what are you, crazy? I've never seen you before. I've never seen this wallet before. I haven't looked through the legal docs. My lawyer's just gone home for the weekend. He said, you got 20 minutes. You're going to miss this deal. And he was right. I was going to miss it. Right? Now, here I was, Mr. Hotshot, MIT grad, Mr. Big banker, working in New York and London and Tokyo. And all of a sudden, I'm like freaked out by this pre-sale token deal. And I was like, damn, bunch of cowboys out here. This is crazy. Now, we did the deal. We made a bunch of money. But at the time, I thought, man, what are we going to do? Because if I can't handle this, nobody else, none of you have a chance, right? You're going to get taken to the cleaners. But if we could navigate to this together, I could make more money and change more lives just through this of my London Real family than I could of all the videos we've ever made and all the movies we've ever made and all the classes we've ever taught. So if we could do this right, we could change the world and change our members' lives. Imagine if we create billions and billions of dollars of capital for the families of our London Real members, and they get to spread that capital around the world. What an amazing concept. So I called up Martini, And we started the investment club. And it's the greatest thing we've ever created in 14 years. It's the greatest product, made the most money, the most success by a factor of 10. And here are the details. It's an application-only program. We open up 10 spaces a quarter, and they're always gone. We are massively oversubscribed. I kept this a secret for 2 years. Now the word is out. Everyone's seen the videos with the CEOs. They see how much money we're making. I mean, we're on all the press releases now. Everybody knows who we are. It's 6 modules, 3 months of coursework. It's a 12-month program, but guess what? No one's ever left. It's a lifetime program now. We do weekly live Zoom calls with top CEOs. We're now doing 3 or 4 a week. We have a private Telegram group. You get access to all the deal flow. And if you don't know crypto, if you've never bought a Bitcoin in your life, no problem. We'll give you a full year of my Kings of DeFi program for free. All right. We've had people with no crypto experience do their first deal in 2 to 3 weeks. We're that good at it. And the next live call is Thursday, 7 p.m. Folks, we teach this in countries all over the world, probably 30 different countries. This is our syllabus. Module 1, what is a crypto presale token? I sent you that already. Module 2 is what is a SAFT? Who knows what a SAFT is? Raise your hand. Not a single person on here. Okay. A SAFT is a simple agreement for future tokens. It's how the rich get richer. If you don't know what this is, then what the hell are you doing, honestly? You know, there's no excuses anymore. You can educate yourself right now. Now, 5, 10 years ago, maybe you could have given me an excuse. You know, I'm not an accredited investor. The rich get richer, which is true. But now the tools are out there, but you have to pull the trigger and move forward. We're going to show you how this works and how you can make a boatload of money. Module 3 is how to identify early winners. I'm going to show you how to conduct pre-sale due diligence on all these companies very, very fast. Module 4, how to generate new deal flow. I'm going to show you what conference to go to, what ticket to buy, what to wear, and what meetings to go to where you can use your phone and scan QR codes and get the deals back to the group in real time. Module 5, how do we nurture these investments into multi-billion-dollar protocols? And module 6, what do you do with all the cash? You're going to have so much cash and I'm going to know what to do with it. I recommend you spend some, you save some, and put the rest back into more deals. Create that wealth for the next generation. This is our Telegram group. This is our Discord group, and here are the details, folks. As I mentioned, we are oversubscribed. Martini's on the phone pretty much 24/7. We've seen a lot of interest out of the Middle East, and now the United States of America is blowing up. Thanks to Trump and all of his SEC rulings, everybody wants in. The investment in the next 10, 20 years of your life, in the mentorship, in the community, in the deal flow, in the education, in this high-level peer group is $50,000. And that gets you the hottest deals on the planet. Now, look, I understand that's a significant amount of money. I used to make $6 an hour. I totally get that. But that also gets you unlimited financial returns. Where else could you turn 50,000 into 50 million bucks? And of course, it's your chance to take part in the greatest wealth creation event in human history that's ending very quickly. And of course, the special investment opportunities I showed you, they're ending now. So if you want to get in on crypto nights, if you want to get in on Synergetics, you got to move fast. This is our deal last quarter that you missed. This is a SAFT agreement, by the way. Don't let it intimidate you. And that deal was up 466% in one day. Now, why do I show this to you? I show this for this reason, because a lot of you right now are coming up with the excuses. Yeah, Brian, I don't have the time. I don't have the money and not the right. Okay. But what if you had just shut down that prefrontal cortex and put 10K on this deal? You would have paid for the club for the rest of your life. Imagine coming on the calls and hanging out with Marianne and Tigran and Andrew and Dr. Encore and me and hanging out with billionaire CEOs and these people. Imagine just doing that for a year. You'd get richer by osmosis. I guarantee you would. My point is that you are just one decision away from changing your life forever. And you're one decision away from keeping everything the same for the next 20 years. The choice is yours, but it really is right there in front of you. And you've seen our track record, right? Shrapnel up 5 million bucks. Skillful AI, $4 million profit. Mochaverse up 20x. Story Protocol up 22x. Meme Coin up 14x. And our $1 billion fund up 4x. How many more of these do you have to see until you realize that this is the right decision? I could show you 10 more, but I think this is on you right now. You have to be at a point where you're sick and tired of your current future enough to make a change. That's it. You got to be a little angry. You got to look in the mirror and say, no, this is not good enough for me. I'm worth more. And you got to make the change. Until you make that decision, you're never going to make that change. But if you really want more, if you believe you deserve better, then pull the trigger and make that happen. Folks, this is the pledge to all the members of my club. I'm going to create $10 billion over the next 10 years. And the truth is, it's probably going to happen in 5 years. Folks, our club is filled with amazing people, all with amazing stories. This is Carol. She says that every member is both a learner and an investor. By the way, each one of these people did a video about their experience on the course. And if you go to londonreal.tv/club, you can watch the video of every single member. This is Joe. He says the window of opportunity is closing quickly. And you know he's right. You're about to miss this whole thing. This is Jerry. He's just honored to be part of the club. He just loves the vibe, loves the family. This is Dr. Yvette. She's a single mom with 4-year-old twins. I mean, what's your excuse? Have you got 4-year-old twins running around the world while you try to be a doctor? I don't think so, right? I mean, she is so busy and she's done 16 deals. And so please don't tell me you're busy because you're not that busy. If she can do it, you can do it. It's just your priorities. This is Jens. He asks, how can you afford not to join us? When you look back on this 6 months from now and you see what we're doing and how much money you made, you're going to kick yourself. You're going to think, what the hell was I thinking? Honestly, I don't think, I think he's right. This is Petya. She actually couldn't afford the course. She could not afford it. And she pulled the trigger and joined anyways. And we said, well, what are you doing? She's like, I'm going to go make myself find this money. She paid for the course and then she's made 68 different investments. I think maybe 70 now, Martini, right? 5,000 minimum, do the math. She actually manifested the money to get her on the course and make the investments. And she's probably about to walk away with $10 or $20 million in the next few months. All right. She deserves this. Nobody else does, right? Because she made it happen. This is Chris. He says the deal flow is beyond what I expected. Joining was the best decision I ever made. What I love about Chris is his 14-year-old son invests alongside of him. True story. So he listens to the calls. When he sees a deal he likes, he walks over to dad and says, Dad, here's $1,000 cash. I want in on BitLayer. I want in on Cats. And they literally do it together. We have fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends. And we really encourage the family education. And this is what Chris said about the club.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals, a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals. And that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week. And for me, that was huge because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.
All right, we like Chris. We're feeling him, right? It's a great vibe. Honestly, that vibe is throughout. Everyone wants you to win, but we all make money together, right? There's no competition in there per se, but they expect you to show up and do the work and make things happen. And that's, I think, a good thing. So that's Chris. Again, it only takes one. One of these deals would change your life forever. And so just remember that. If you don't have one of these, what are you doing? I just think you're wasting tons of time in a market that's clearly going up. So make this happen. Find a way or don't. That's up to you, really. You know, no one's gonna give this to you. No one's gonna take care of you. And at the end of the day, no one cares. But if you want to empower yourself, this is a way to do it. Final thoughts, folks. Don't let this year pass you by. You only got a few months left, but it's not too late. You can still do it now. You can learn early stage investing, and what I teach you, you can use the rest of your life. Remember what I said, that liquid tokens and equity on any exchange, they have limited gains. If you go buy a token right now at an exchange, somebody like me is already taking 50x out of it. It's too late. Go earlier stage, go further up the stream, and that's what we do. And of course, this is your chance to learn from active elite investors for just $50,000. You know, take Dan Tapiero. He runs a big fund. If you said to Dan, Dan, I want you to teach me about investing and give me access to all of your deals for the next 10 years for $50,000, he would laugh out loud and throw you out of his office, right? I know these people. He wouldn't do it for $500,000. He's too busy. So this is actually a bargain, and it's really good value. And of course, it is a significant investment, but it's got unlimited financial returns. And now, thanks to Martini, we have a payment plan. So for $10,000 a month for 6 months, you're in. What does that mean? It means for 10K, you can be in the club now. You can put 5K on Synergetics, 5K on Crypto Nights, and you can get tokens next month. That means you can have liquidity immediately. We've never seen this, okay? This was not happening 6 months ago, a year ago, 18 months ago, 2 years ago. This will not be the case in 6 months from now. It's happening now. So if you want to take advantage of perfect timing, it's right now. And we can do that with a payment plan and get you right into deals. And of course, it's the best deal flow in the world. Folks, remember what Warren Buffett said, the best investment you can make is in yourself. What does he mean? Investing in the group of people that'll take you to the next level. Adrian, I think you know what I'm talking about. You resonated with that. Look, I hang out in Dubai I know tons of billionaires. I mean, being a billionaire in Dubai is like normal, right? All my billionaire buddies, who do they want to hang out with, Adrian? They want to hang out with the deca billionaires, okay? Now, who do the deca billionaires want to hang out with? They want to hang out with the centibillionaires because they know that's how they get to the next level. And the centibillionaires, you know who they want to hang out with? Elon Musk, right? They know the only way they continue to grow is by being a small fish in a big pond, right? Be around people that are uncomfortable. I've seen billionaires ridiculed in groups because they're poor, right? I remember I talked to him afterwards. I'm like, I mean, damn, like, do you like the way they talk to you about that you're so poor? And the guy's like, look, Brian, they're right. He's like, where else am I going to get around a bunch of people that tell me at $1.9 billion that I need to step up my game? And it's like, some people would be offended by that, but they're right. And if I want to make it to 10, 20 billion, then I need to be around those people. I was like, damn, that's the next level, right? And so think about that. The really high performance people in this world know to get to the next level, you got to surround yourself with bigger fish. That's what we're doing here, okay? And yet most of you will probably never make this move, which means you'll probably stay where you are. Folks, the only way to join is to reach out to Martini. Here are 4 different ways to make contact with her. And she's the only one that can get you in. She vets everybody, and she's also very busy. But if you're serious about joining and you want to have a real conversation, then book a call with Martini. She's spoken with thousands of people about this. She's heard your concerns and your story, but she'd like to find out where you are and if this makes sense. Again, a lot of people think our members are these billionaires with Harvard MBAs. They're not. They're people that are poorer than you, with less education with you and less connections with you. But guess what? They have a better relationship with fear than you do. And they said, I've had enough and I'm going to change my life. And that's what makes them different than you. But if you think this is the next level, have a conversation with Martini. Let's find out how we can make it work. And of course, joining the Crypto and DeFi Academy, that's a no-brainer. Honestly, join this thing. You'll get totally indoctrinated with the way we do business. I'll invite you to the investment club calls. You'll get a look at all these things. It's discounted by 60%, $9.99. This is a no-brainer. Okay, 4 weeks, 4 modules. Again, 8 hours of live calls with me. You get my triple tiered accountability system, dedicated coaches, team leaders. It's so good, and it's a no-brainer. And you're pre-approved at londonreal.tv/buy. Honestly, click that link now and go there afterwards and just buy. You'll love it. You can join Angela and Sandeep and everybody on Monday. It's going to be amazing. Folks, what is your why? Every time I have a hard day or I'm feeling tired or I'm feeling unmotivated, I just take a look at these guys, okay? And I think to myself, am I going to tell them 10 years from now that we've got nothing? Am I going to tell them 10 years right now that Papa didn't make it happen? Am I going to be in a position where I can't protect them or can't provide for them? Hell no. And so all I need to do is think about them and I go make things happen. My question for you is, what is your why? All of you have somebody that needs you. If you don't, you will at some point. Okay, trust me, right? Maybe it's your future family. I used to think about this before I had kids. Your future family needs you to show up today and make things happen. And that doesn't happen by playing it safe. That doesn't happen by putting 2% in savings every week. That doesn't happen. You got to go out there and take risks. That's the only way to really create wealth. Folks, this is the video I promised at londonreal.tv/bonus. If you go there, it'll show you how to find the hottest crypto presale tokens in 3 easy steps. And of course, you can join us for our next investment club call on a Monday night or a Thursday night, where you can go to londonreal.tv/club call or send Martini a message and she'll invite you to one of those. They're fun. They're interactive. You're going to learn a ton. Some of the terms might go over your head. Don't worry about it. You're going to learn so much if you come. Folks, I love to answer questions. First, I just want to say thank you for being here. Thanks for your attention. Kristen, it's a pleasure. Sandeep, I can't wait to start. Adrian, really appreciate you as well. Angela, can't wait to start with you on Monday. And everybody else here, Kate, it's been amazing having you in the course, and we are going to get you invested in that deal, I promise. And Kristen, we're really close as well. And everybody here, just thank you so much. DM me any questions, and I want to answer them. But I also see we got Martini here on the phone, and she's the one to talk to if you want to take this to the next level. Martini, always love to hear your thoughts.
Yes, absolutely. Well, great call today, Brian. It's good to see everybody here. And hopefully you were able to really just take in the options that are available to you that Brian has talked about today. And hopefully you can take some things that he said and actually implement them into your own life, right? And so one thing that Brian said today that really resonated with me is, what is your gift to this world? You know, that really resonates in a way of taking a look at the gifts that we have in life. A lot of the times, you know, we want to express them, we want to put them out in the world, we want to do something with them. And please understand, it takes money to be able to do that one way or the other, right? And so what we're trying to do in the investment club is not only invest in early stage companies that are here to change the world, but really to support you in creating the wealth and the generational wealth that you deserve, so that you can go out and do whatever it is that your gift is calling you out to do in the world. All right. So we definitely want to support you with the option of being able to invest in these early stage companies with the investment club. So if this is your jam and this is something that you're really considering, you know, and investing in a completely different way, I put some links inside of the chat below. The very first link is for you to check out the investment club page, and that's going to give you a rundown detail of what the investment club is all about, what we stand for, and where we see ourselves going together as a community that's investing in these early stage companies for the next 10 years. All right. So what I recommend doing is jotting down a few notes and a few questions. So by the time you do get on the line with me, the call will definitely run a lot smoother. Speaking of calls, the next step is when you're ready to go ahead and pull the trigger now and start investing alongside us now and join the investment club. The next step is to go ahead and schedule a call with me. As Brian says, I only want to talk to people who are serious, and serious means you are ready to join us now and you are, you know, ready to start investing now. Now, these calls are actually, they're about you. You know, as Brian says, I've spoken to well over thousands of people from all over the world, but I really want to know your intention. I really want to know what your goals, what your dreams are, what your gift is, and really taking a look at how we can best support you inside of the investment club to be able to achieve that. So only book a call if you are serious and ready to join us now. If you don't see a time that's available on my calendar, please be sure to go ahead and send me a private message on Facebook Messenger. That's always the fastest way to get me. Or you can send me an email at martini@londonreal.tv and let me know who you are, where you're from, and the best time to get a hold of you within your time zone, and we'll definitely make it work. And then so the last thing here, I know that Brian does an amazing job of explaining what the investment club is. You got to see snapshots of some of our amazing members from all over the world, but we want you to experience us in real time. All right. So that way you'll be able to see what all the talk is about, and why Brian's always so excited whenever he talks about the club. So the very last link is for you to go ahead and join us on one of our live calls that we host every Monday and Thursday, where you'll get to see our members and you'll get to see us all in action. So you'll get to see the CEOs pitching their companies over to us live. You'll see Brian doing the Shark Tank style questions, and then you'll get to see how all of our members from all over the world get together to invest in these early stage companies. So we hope to definitely see you on the inside. Please understand that you have a gift, and let's fast track that gift to getting you to invest in these companies, to get you the wealth that you deserve so that you can get out there and live the way that you are meant to live. All right, guys, we hope to see you on the inside soon. And back to you, Brian.
Okay, great stuff and great insight from Martini. Definitely book a call with her. She's really worth talking to, and she's spoken with so many people about this, and many of them obviously joined us. Look, just want to say thank you to everybody. I think you all know we're at a really special time right now. We're like at an inflection point. This will not last forever. The next couple months are going to be crazy. And I come back to that question, like, are you invested? You know, are you invested enough to take advantage in what could be one of the biggest blowout bull runs we've seen? And it could all be over really quickly as well. You're so close. And it'd be worth just having a long conversation with yourself and a thought and a look in the mirror saying, why do I miss these opportunities? Why do I run away from these? You know, it's crazy. I interviewed a SAS soldier named Ollie Ollerson, and he was in that show called SAS Who Dares Wins. And he thought a lot about the concept of fear. And he said, Brian, basically you wake up every day and your brain says, I'd rather just do yesterday. Does this make sense to everybody here? Your brain, it's in fear of anything it doesn't know, okay? And so it just wants to do yesterday. Let's do yesterday. Let's do yesterday. And even when you tell it, but we could make $1 billion today. We could meet the person of our dreams. We could have the most incredible experience. It would say, yeah, but I don't know what happens with those things. I'm not prepared for that. But yesterday, I know how to deal with yesterday. So let's just do yesterday. And so part of your brain is pulling you just to play it safe your whole life. And that's going to play it safe for 30 years, and then you're going to slide into the grave and it's over. But the other part of your brain says, wait a second, if I want to lead an exceptional life, if I want to be proud of something, if I want to be all I can be, then I've got to actually ignore that or fight against it in some way and say, no. I don't want to do yesterday, because most of us have been doing yesterday for the last 10 years. It's a natural thing. And so that's the fight we're constantly with. And when you see people that are successful out there, again, it's not because they're smarter than you. It's not because they're wealthier than you. It's not because they're more successful. Matter of fact, a lot of times you see people and you're like, how the hell did they do it, right? You hear the stories, you know, dyslexic, abusive father, no education. And what did they do? It's just because they found a way to basically shut off that part of their brain that's trying to keep them in that playing small, right? That lion watching everything go by. If you can do this, it's like a video game. You get to the next level. Now, I haven't been able to do this all my life, but now I'm getting better at doing it the older I get. And now when I see it, I'll see through the matrix. I'm like, the matrix says, oh, this is scary. And I'm like, no, it's not, because I know it's not. And once I go through it, I realize there's nothing there. But most people are scared. Most people live in a cage their whole life, and the door isn't even locked. You know what I mean, Adrian, right? Kristen, you know what I mean? And at any moment, you just have to walk out of it. And yet more people stay in there the whole life because it's like, okay, it's safe here. But you can walk out anytime you want. And all of those things you're scared of, they're not even real. Not even real. All you have to do is walk through them and you realize they're just these phantoms that make us live these quiet lives of desperation. And I'd rather everybody here breaks through. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Please take some action. Don't just take this and make it another video and go back to your normal life. Please don't be the lion that watches it all go by. Take a bite, all right? Take a bite. You deserve it. And life is short. And I'll say one last thing. One of my mentors said, 1,000 years from now, not a single decision in your life will matter at all, okay? At all. It won't matter, okay? And yet you make such a big deal out of all these decisions, right? In the cosmos of time, your life will mean very, very little. And so when you put it in that perspective and you look at all these really hard decisions that you're stressing about, you realize, what am I so caught up with? In a long enough timeline, none of it matters. So then go ahead and do what you think is right. That's what I would say. And so I'll leave you with that. Thank you so much. I hope we see you all on the inside and see you on some of those calls. It's going to be amazing. And until then, have an amazing one. All right. Lots of love. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Bye. The mass scale transformation of humanity, the fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. It's something we live and breathe. We have a mission here. We want to help build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. What is your mission?
Hey, it's Brian Rose from London Real. How would you like to join my investment club, where I teach you everything you need to know about early stage token and equity investments? Look, right now is one of the greatest times to invest in human history. We've got AI happening. We've got the metaverse that we built on AI, and all of this needs the blockchain, which is what we specialize in here. In my investment club, it's a 12-month program, 3 months of coursework where I teach you all the basics.
I want to talk about how capital isn't enough, and I want to talk about how you can upgrade your arsenal of influence in a variety of ways.
I teach you how to do basic due diligence. I teach you how to go to a conference and come back with 10 deals.
Just go in, bam, 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 bam.
This is super exciting, and we're able to do this here at London Real because I speak with some of the greatest guests on the planet. We have an amazing network, and we also have a structure to actually invest money in these deals.
Just as a strategy in your business, just keep it simple, especially the first time you do it, but do it at the same time.
I'm telling you, This is an incredible opportunity. I've got the best community in the business right now, 75 people from around the world in over 20 countries that are alongside, all investing together. And you can learn and network with the best in the business.
No decision is much worse than a no. Something, action, action, action. The clock is ticking.
If you're interested in this, click a link below and set up a call with one of my team. They'll walk you through what's happening, the opportunities, the requirements. But I plan on working with this group for the next 10 years, and we're going to do massive things here. And I hope you are a part of it. Click on the link and let's do this.